So here, folks, is your call to action. If you feel like we do and you feel like this impeachment of Andy Beshear is absolutely ridiculous, please demand that Kentucky State's legislature reject impeachment of our governor, Andy Beshear. Please call the legislative comment line, speak with the nicest people on the planet, and send a message to our House member and senator that this is futile, pointless, and time wasting. Reject calls to impeach the governor and hold the petitioners accountable for this waste of time and resources. Feel free to remind them that the law states that if the petition is denied, which it will be, then the petitioners shall be liable to witnesses and to the accused for the cost of the investigation before the committee, meaning those 4 people that are hoping to impeach our governor should be paying for all of the expenses of this waste of time, this sham here. And so I will give you that number. It is 1-800-372-7181. Save this number in your contacts. Call frequently.
Quite a situation going on with our wonderful governor, Andy Beshear. Actually, it's a radical effort to impeach Andy Beshear, governor of Kentucky. And a lot of people don't really know how this is going to play out or what are the steps that they're trying to make. One of the people that Andy Beshear has called out, Tony Wheatley, which was one of the ones also involved in the effigy in front of the governor's mansion, was one of the ones that also petitioned to impeach Governor Beshear, along with a restaurant and bar owner. They're stating that Andy Beshear did not allow their legislators of Kentucky become involved in his emergency orders and the restrictions because of COVID. Also involved in that, Jason Nemes insisted a House committee tasked with looking into calls to impeach Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear would be fair. How can we honestly know that it would be fair when we have a majority of Republicans in the House and the Senate in Capitol in Frankfurt? How can we know that this is going to be fair? These people have proven themselves time and time again that they are not fair, that they believe in some type of situation or conspiracies. So it would be very hard pressed to actually trust them on too much of anything. But Nemes will lead the panel of 7 lawmakers as they investigate a petition filed by 4 citizens that accuses the governor of violating the Kentucky Constitution during his response to COVID-19 pandemic. Once they receive arguments from both sides, what will happen at that point is the committee can vote to end the investigation if no wrongdoing is found, or investigate further. And let's just say this, after further investigation, they will either dismiss or send a recommendation of impeachment to the Kentucky House of Representatives. Sort of like how it happens on the federal level, but just a little different. If the House dismisses the recommendation, it would not go any further, which we're praying upon that. A majority vote, though, would bring the impeachment recommendation to the Kentucky Senate. House members would then have to prosecute the impeachment trial in the Senate, and that trial could result in fines to Governor Andy Beshear, censure, or removal from office. Now, removal from office would require a 2/3 majority vote. Now, Nemes says that he's going in open-minded, hopefully, prayerfully, promising fairness and recommending anyone watching to stay level-headed as the process plays out. Now, the committee was formed because it is legally required to have this committee. No one should get excited nor upset that the committee has been formed. It is just a legality. No decision has been made, so the evidence will lead them where it needs to go. And this is a quote from Jason Nemes. Now, all sources at the Capitol expect that there will be no removal from office and that the committee will make quick work to clear it up before lawmakers return in early February. Lawmakers at this particular time are basically Democrats versus Republicans on this particular issue. We need some of those Republicans to speak out louder and clearer, if anyone has spoken, that Andy Beshear does not need to be impeached, that this is taxpayers' money going down the drain. And also, I would like to also add this as well, something that I found out. On Amazon, they are now selling tank tops and t-shirts that say "Impeach King Andy." Back to you, Karen.
That's insane. Like I can't imagine they're selling a lot of them. What, like, really? I mean, I've seen polls. He's still remains quite popular in a state that, you know, went overwhelmingly for Trump, and he's still quite popular. I think people at the kind of fundamental level get he's doing the best that he can to keep us safe. You know, these kind of like very loud squeaky wheels who've, you know, launched this impeachment process. You know, I think they represent a perspective. It's not like they're just the only ones, but I think they're a small number. They're just very, very loud. The people who are anti-mask, the people who are anti, you know, CDC guidelines and anti, you know, keeping people safe are just very loud. And of course, the Republicans are just very angry because they don't really have a clear role in, you know, in the pandemic response. And despite the fact that Andy has briefed them, you know, and Andy and his staff have briefed them nearly continuously, they're still saying they've been cut out of the process, which seems outrageous to me. And Samantha Jean, any thoughts before you move into the call back?
It is completely outrageous to me. I have a lot of feelings on this issue. But I just want to take you guys back. Like, do you remember the very beginning of the pandemic? Bless Andy's heart, he inherited this this process, or just, you know, he got inaugurated in November. COVID hits us in February, March. So basically, the entire time that he has been in office, it has been nothing but COVID. And what I remember, the very beginning of COVID-19 restrictions, and when we kind of went into lockdown and people were scared, or we were really unsure of what was happening. And Andy Beshear started those daily briefings. And I just remember feeling so comforted and so relieved, and just being like, oh my God, we finally have this like wonderful, level-headed leader, because we had just come off of however many years of Matt Bevin being this angry, crotchety, rude, just like yelling, ranting kind of dude. We're having Black Lives Matter protests where people are literally marching for their lives and their rights. And then you have some like day drinker moms out here going, I want a haircut. You know, my dog needs to go to the the groomers, and complaining about these sort of things that were just so trivial. And that was when the guy hung Andy Beshear in effigy because they couldn't get haircuts and, you know, go to the movies. So they wanted to hang Andy Beshear in effigy over something just completely meaningless and unimportant. And it just the whole thing has gotten under my skin so much. It's like, you know, they compare him to Mr. Rogers, and yet they also call him a tyrant and a king. And it's just unbelievable, because he is just so calm and so kind. And I think a model leader. They have a beautiful family. He seems to be, you know, a family man, a caring father. And it's too much. It's too much.